So I feel like the receivers in San Francisco, it's a bit of a transition at the moment. You have Debo Samuel. Now he's been a little nicked up here in the offseason. You bring in a first round rookie pick in Brandon Ayuk that they really clearly coveted in the draft. Said I think Shanahan came out and said he was the second highest ranked receiver on their board. I'm curious, where are we currently with Debo and his injury? When do you think we'll see him on the field? And when it comes to Brandon Ayuk in this COVID era, what kind of impact can you expect from the rookie?
Well, it seems like both of them are going to be playing week one because, as I said, the Cardinals are the team, not the team to beat, but the team that everyone's kind of worried about. And if the Niners lose week one to them at home, that's a bad way to start your revenge tour, quote unquote, after losing the Super Bowl. So I think if Ayuk can play, he will. I think if Debo Samuel can play, he will. And from what I've seen, Debo Samuel's been at practice running around for a while. He looks like he's getting there. I think the question is going to be not health of his foot, but football shape. And I think that's going to be the question with every player because there's been no preseason. So why is any other player in better football shape than him? Because they went through some 11-on-11 scrimmages. If he can play, I think he will. And I think both guys are going to be in line for a pretty big season. I mean, the way I look at Ayuk, I didn't know what to expect from him. I watched his tape in college, but when you see a guy practice in person, you get a pretty good feel. And I don't want to compare him to one of the best wide receivers in the league because he's not as polished as this guy was coming out. But physically, when I watch him move around, his size, his frame, his explosiveness and quickness, and I can't help but think of Odell Beckham Jr. Now, Odell Beckham was extremely polished when he came to the league. I mean, years of production in the SEC. Brandon Ayuk wasn't even a wide receiver until college. He went to junior college. He was a one-year starter. I'm just talking physically, but he really, really can move around the football field, and he looks like in a different class of athletes than the rest. I mean, Debo didn't even produce like that in camp as a rookie. So I think Ayuk could become the number one receiver as a rookie. If you remember, Odell Beckham Jr. pulled his hamstring his rookie year, missed 4 games, came in and just broke records. I'm not saying Ayuk's going to do that, but he did pull his hamstring. So he's right on course to follow in Odell Beckham's footsteps.
Now, I look at the 49ers and how they're acquiring these wide receivers. I could be wrong, but it certainly feels like they have a certain type at wide receiver, from Debo to Ayuk, Jalen Hurd they brought in. Is it guys who can catch the short to intermediate passes and then can be a yak monster? Do you confirm or deny my suspicions here?
That's exactly what it is. And I don't think it's necessarily because Kyle Shanahan feels that's the best way to construct an offense, because that's not what he constructed in Atlanta. It's not. I mean, that was a downfield passing offense. I think it's the best way to construct an offense around Jimmy Garoppolo, because Jimmy Garoppolo is a lot like Drew Brees or Derek Carr in the sense that he's going to throw some short passes, a lot of short passes. And over the course of a season, he'll probably average out to the fewest air yards in the league. That's okay. If that's who you are and you're accurate with that stuff, then you still need to get big plays. And you're going to get them with yards after the catch. And that's one reason I feel like Dante Pettis kind of fell out of favor in this offense. They drafted him before they really knew what Jimmy Garoppolo could be, and they really understood that they needed to get all these basically like running backs at wide receiver, and he's just not that kind of guy. He's not going to break tackles. So he doesn't fit the offense anymore. But that's what they're looking for.